Hello, hello. Hi. I think we've got Christy here. Okay. Did it work? Oh, hey.
Hey there.
That was that awkward start of a live video. No
Oh,
worries.
how you doing?
I'm really well. How are you, Christy?
I'm doing awesome. Happy International Women's Day to you and to everybody.
Ah, and to you and to everybody watching. Thank you so much for making this happen. I've got so many questions for you. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about it because we know that you're the person, one of the people behind Women's Pizza Month. So thank you for making that happen.
Oh,
Uh,
my pleasure.
I'm here in a new studio kitchen in Ooni HQ, so looking very jungly. Where are you? Are you at home?
I am at home. Yeah, I like your background. It looks good.
Yeah, like it's very floral. I think I should have worn a plainer top so that I don't look so insane jungle.
You are camouflaged a bit.
Totally, totally. So where are you exactly?
I am in Westchester County, which is about an hour north of New York City.
Amazing. As we said when we caught up briefly before, I really feel like I know you. That's often the way on Instagram, isn't it? When you see people regularly and you communicate. But yeah, I think you've been an instrumental member of the pizza community, full stop. And I've definitely noticed some waves that you're making to try and amplify women in pizza. So excited to talk about it today, of all days, 8th of March. Um, but maybe before we start, you could just give me a little background on you and what sort of led you into pizza in the first place.
My background in pizza started before Instagram. My grandfather actually taught me how to make pizza as a little girl, even before I could see above the counter. I remember having like a little step stool that I would stand on, and he would teach me. I mean, obviously in the beginning I would just make a mess, and I was his only granddaughter. He only had two sons, so I think that was an advantage, as far as being a messy, kid. But because I was his little girl. But he taught me everything. He taught me passion for what you do, and I think that's also what I try to bring to this community is that when you make pizza or when you do anything in life, do it with passion because you'll just get so much more out of it.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't have to. Definitely singing to the choir, preaching to the choir with that one for me. I'm so it's one of our core values at Uni, but it's definitely my favorite. And you see it all over the pizza community. There's no one who does it who doesn't seem incredibly passionate, and it's really infectious, isn't it, when you start chatting to people? So you've always made pizza, even from a young age.
But yeah, I mean, there are times where I didn't make as trying to be environmentally conscious, like Ooni. um, you know, I've been making pizza for a really long time, but obviously there are times where I make more pizza. Like for example, now in Women's Pizza Month, I make a lot of pizza, as you can imagine, and I'm making pizza no matter what the weather is out there, probably other than rain.
Yeah. Well done. They're really beautiful. I feel like you can almost taste them through your Instagram posts and your videos, and they're incredibly impressive work. So hopefully, when the travel starts again, we can come and hang out and actually eat them, and you can come to the UK where we are. Yeah, let's dive into. Well, tell us a little bit about what is Women's Pizza Month. Why did you start it, and who's involved, and yeah, what's the background?
Okay, well, the first thing I want to, I guess, clarify is, in its simplest terms, Women's Pizza Month is it's the world's biggest pizza party. We're celebrating not just women in pizza, but half the population. We're celebrating all women. So it's not just women in pizza. Like a lot of people, are tagging women in pizza. It's everyone. You know why? Because we have to recognize that women have contributed more than just pizza. I mean, they've done so much, and Women's Pizza Month is about recognizing that and thanking them for that contribution and celebrating all those women out there. So Women's Pizza Month is the world's biggest pizza party that invites includes the entire world. It doesn't get more inclusive because to me, and I think for you, Darina, too, from what I've learned about you, you know, we're trying to be as inclusive as possible. Diversity is important, I think, to both of us. And that's what Women's Pizza Month is about. I always say that pizza makers are as diverse as the pizza toppings. You know, there's all kinds of people, all kinds of pizza toppings. So what it is what we're asking, and I want to shout out Jenna, the Juliet Mike, who's in Singapore. She's been helping me on this, and I couldn't do it without her. But what we're both trying to do is we're trying to get this community, we're trying to build this community, we're trying to invite more people to this community, but we're also trying to learn more about this community. And we're doing that by asking people to create a pizza that's unique to you and dedicate it to a woman who inspires you. And I know for a fact, I guarantee every person on here, all you guys, all you awesome people, had at least one woman who inspires you. So I want you, and Jenna want you to create a pizza that, and dedicate it to that woman and tell us about her, because through that, you're creating a unique pizza that's unique to you. And you're letting us learn about that woman. And then we want to celebrate her. And that's what Women's Pizza Month's about. And we would like you to tag Women's Pizza Month. And if you want, you can tag me, Real Clever Food, or Jenna, the Juliet Mike. And yeah, I'm just super excited. And if you guys have not gone on the Women's Pizza Month grid, you're missing out. I mean, I'd love it if you could follow it, but it is, I don't know if you've seen it, but it is the most beautiful grid on Instagram. And I'm not just saying that because people are taking that extra time to make the most beautiful pizza, because actually they are. You guys have done such a great job, all the people here that have participated and who are still going to participate. The pizzas are gorgeous, but there's beautiful people on there. And the dedications, what people are writing. I mean, this world needs more love. And if you want some love, go on that Women's Pizza Month grid. You will see love. That grid represents love. It represents the love that's in this community. And it keeps me going. I mean, I'm running on coffee and fumes right now, but the love of this community just keeps me going.
Oh, coffee and fumes, and definitely fueled by
and lots of pizza.
It's super lovely to hear how excited you are about it, and understanding more about what you're trying to organize and pull together is really beautiful. But I love the story angle and the human angle behind it. It sort of makes me think of like the Humans of New York post, you know, when you learn about why, the thing that's behind that dedication. That's really, really lovely. You know, and the thing that fires us up at Ooni is when people tell you about the moments that their pizza making creates. You know, like they suddenly have a Friday night ritual with their daughter, their adult daughter, that they didn't really connect with before, and like people are coming together over this really informal but inclusive food. So yeah, super cool. I like it. Well done.
Yeah, and I just have to say, you know, yesterday I dedicated a post to the women of Ooni, and I meant it, and I meant it to you. I respect you so much. I mean, people who are listening here, I mean, you are an incredible leader, not just in pizza, but a woman leader in general. I mean, not only are you and your company helping people to make better pizza at home, but you guys are doing so much in this world, and I appreciate that, because before I was an ambassador, and I love being an ambassador, but before that, I was just a consumer. I bought your oven because you know, I wanted to have fun and I wanted to improve my pizza. But as a consumer, it matters to me, and I think to a lot of people today, that the company that we're putting our dollars towards are socially responsible and also environmentally conscious. So I want to thank you, Darina, and I want to thank Ooni for that, because I would not want to be an ambassador if you guys didn't represent that. And for me, that's part of the reason I'm proud to be an Ooni ambassador.
Oh, well, we're really proud to have you, Christy. Thank you. I think, yeah, I mean, like, luckily for us, our leadership team and the wider team, they really care about purpose and values, and you know, it's the kind of triple bottom line. So yes, we can grow as a company, but we want to do it with the community. Ultimately, we wouldn't have anything if it wasn't for passionate people like you who are into making pizza. And so listening and figuring out what makes people tick. I've definitely noticed that when we started, we wanted to have the most impactful impact. How can we be a company for good, and who to partner with, and how to do this properly. And we did things like, you know, sustainability things. Like, obviously, there's so much more that we can do, and we're constantly trying to learn and improve and invest. But it didn't seem like it was that. Oh, yeah, so
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
like sticker. Yeah.
yeah.
Huge. You guys do so much for that, and that's something I like supporting as well.
Oh, yeah. It seems like those issues are much more kind of front of mind for people buying or working or backing any company than ever before, which we love because our team are really engaged with that. But yeah, I think it's gone mainstream that people, they make conscious decisions when they make a purchase. So yeah, it's only good, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And another thing, I guess if I could add on to what Women's Pizza Month's about, I mean, because I do want to touch upon, you know, because it is International Women's Day, you know, I'm actually wearing my International Women's Day shirt. The theme for this year is break the bias. You know, the symbol is break the bias. And Women's Pizza Month is also about that. It's about having people stop the stereotypes, stop the assumptions. You know, guys, get to know each other. Don't assume things. Like I think we all fall into that trap. And what Women's Pizza Month is about is like, don't assume that most of those pizza makers out there are men. There are plenty of women, and get to know them. And that's what I do. I like to, on my grid, I do dedications to women pizza makers, and because those are the people that inspire me, and I want to introduce you to those people. And hopefully by the end of Women's Pizza Month, when you think about the women in pizza, you know, when someone says to you, like, who's your favorite woman in pizza? Or who are some women in pizza that you even just know? I'm
Right.
just hoping that some of you guys will say, you know, at least one woman's name. Like, that to me would be a huge win.
Okay, so on that, I definitely have the assumption that there's way more men within the pizza world. What do you know in terms of like the general pizza industry? It seems like there are some really brilliant women out there, but you know, talking to people like Miriam Weiskind and like other people, they've got really big dreams to open, you know, her restaurant in New York, which would be women owned, and that's unusual, right? So clearly there's definitely assumptions being made, but it is quite a male-dominated industry in the traditional sense. Would you say that's fair?
I absolutely would say that, but you know what? We go back to the women in pizza and the women who own pizzerias, but I think it's also important, and you know, I feel like most of the people who are probably buying Ooni ovens are probably home pizza makers, and I think
Right.
the more people that we show, women that we show, whether they're making pizza at home or making pizza in a pizzeria, I think that's important because I think, I mean, for me, and I have a feeling, I mean, if you're on here and you haven't made pizza before, you're missing out. It's fun. I think, you know, if you don't know how to make pizza, I have tutorials. Reach out to me. I would love to share that passion and that joy with you. But yeah, I think the more women that we see making pizza, and we equate, and that's also what Women's Pizza Month's about, is about equating women and pizza. So when you think pizza, I want you not to think about just guys. I want you to think about women. I want you to think about everyone.
Yeah, very. I like it. You know, when you see people making pizza, there's such a kind of nurturing response to making dough. Probably the most beautiful experience I've had of someone making dough for me was Georgia Caparushko, who's also in New York,
Yeah.
Este, and she, you know, she's Italian, and she's um, was like one pizza champion. She's incredibly young, but she's absolutely bossing it. So yes, it is a pizzeria, and like she's in a very sort of male dominated world, but she's making waves, and the way that she approaches it is absolutely stunning and super inspiring. So yeah, there's absolutely no reason why women can't make pizza. I think that's fair, and it's an interesting one. Like when we started Uni, obviously our ovens are traditionally outdoors, and then you know it's an interesting approach because I'm so delighted with the amount of people that want to now be part of it. But kind of the outside space, especially in the UK, I'm sure it's the same in the US, has been like the domain of the male chef, right? The outdoor cook is usually, and we've seen that really shift actually with pizza. I think it's because it is more inclusive, and you know, kids can get involved, and you know, it's not certainly in Scotland where I am, it's kind of like the solitary man with a golf umbrella in the rain cooking on his grill. That's not the case with pizza making, right? It can be so.
Yeah, that's what I love about you guys at Uni. It's like you guys are making sure that you have pizza ovens, at least here in the United States, it's like a new frontier for, I think every home is eventually going to have one. I mean, that's my hope. But yes, I mean, you guys have this opportunity, this amazing opportunity to show, you know, for Mother's Day, you know, buy that mother a pizza oven. She's going to love it. Guess what? That's how I got my first Ooni. It was a Mother's Day present for me. So, you know, it's an awesome gift for anybody. And I think, you know, if people buy those ovens for those women, they're going to fall in love with it like I did.
Yeah. That's great. It's a great message. Just, you know, it shouldn't be a world that's dominated by just one gender. Yeah, I'm excited. So tell me about how you met Juliet in the first place, or sorry, Jenna.
Well, what's funny is, see, this is why I love Women's Pizza Month. I keep going back to it, and this community. Women's Pizza Month is about building friendships too. Like, we build community. I get so many people reaching out to me, and guys, if I don't get back to you right away, I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. You know, we might have to have Women's Pizza Month 2.0 go into April. I promise I will get to all of you guys. I want to celebrate. But yeah, Jenna reached out to me actually during Women's Pizza Month. We got to know each other better, and I admire her. She's probably one of the hardest working, super exciting, enthusiastic pizza makers out there in the world. And what's really cool is, I mean, she's probably as far away from New York as you could possibly imagine. She's on the opposite side of the world. She's 13 hours ahead of us. Like, she's probably sleeping right now, or I hope you're sleeping, Jenna. And so we haven't been sleeping much, and you know, we're trying our best to show everybody love here. But yeah, so Jenna and I met because of Women's Pizza Month, and I met a lot of people here because of Women's Pizza Month, and that's why it also means so much to me. So like I said, we're celebrating women, but we're building community, we're building friendships, and we're getting to know everybody better, and that means a lot to me.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant to hear. There's not that many things that bring people together like pizza, and like, I think one of the things, because I've learned on the job, right? I didn't make pizzas really before Ooni was born, and I think one of the things is about this striving. You'll never perfect it, but you're always learning, which is a really interesting, and kind of, it pulls people into conversation. So naturally you want to share your creations and show off your pizzas and the ingredients you've chosen, and like how beautiful it looks, or how burnt it looks, or how, you know, good or bad. But then you want to share the techniques and the process and the learning and hydration levels and the level of salt and how long you've proven it for. What's your strategy, or where are you at on that learning journey? How would you define your own approach to pizza making?
You know, the pizza journey never ends. I think that the best pizza makers that I've spoken to, they all say the same thing. We're all still learning. I have so much to learn, and we teach each other. And as far as, you know, my journey, I always feel like it's just beginning again. Like, I change things constantly. Even though I initially learned from my grandfather, you know, I'm constantly adapting and changing. And, you know, that's my passion. My passion is not only learning, it's also teaching. I've really been enjoying, I've actually had the opportunity since last summer to work with people in person, teaching them how to make pizza. I love it. Like, I mean, I've discovered stuff about myself this way. Like, I've always liked pizza. I've always been passionate about pizza, but I don't know if I've ever like spent so much time, you know, I guess indulging myself in this passion, and I'm loving it. And so I'm always learning. And I love teaching. So like I said, you know, if anyone's out there, I have tutorials, reach out to me if you're interested in learning more.
Amazing. What's your kind of favorite pizza to make if you had to? This is great.
I always answer that. It's usually the last one that I made. If you look on my grid today, I have a pizza from Ate Pizza. It's in Argentina. Guys, pizza's global. It's not just a New York thing. It's not just an Italian thing. It's all over the world. And actually what's cool about Argentina is they have a really, really long history with pizza. And if you want to read about it, you could see it, like I said, on my grid. And, last March and this March, I'm introducing women pizza makers to you guys. If you want to learn more about them, take the time to read it. And like I said, check out that Women's Pizza Month grid. You'll smile, I guarantee it.
I have, and I thank you for pulling all that together. And it's only getting started, right? We're only on day 8 of Pizza Month. What's your hope for this month, and how long has Women Pizza Month been running?
This is just the second year, and that just kind of speaks volumes about how well it's received. And like I always go back to how much I love this community. Without the pizza community and without all of you guys, like I appreciate all of you guys, Women's Pizza Month, it really wouldn't be the success it is. It wouldn't, you know, it wouldn't be as special as it is. And it's special to me, and I think it's special to a lot of you people. And what I want to say is, I don't know if I said it already, you're all invited. You're personally invited to join Women's Pizza Month. I'm inviting all of you. I want to see you guys get involved. Make a pizza and dedicate it to a woman who inspires you. Let us get to know them. Let us celebrate them. This is about celebrating women, and we deserve to be celebrated. We all contribute, whether or not you think you contribute, you do.
I love that. It's profound and important to say it. So maybe you could choose a couple that stands out to you already that you've seen in terms of dedications. What are the ones that have made you, happiest to read?
I'm going to shout out Rosha, who is one of our Germany ambassadors. Handmade, I don't know her whole handle. It's like handmade pizza. You'll find her on the grid. Her background is she's Iranian, and she lived through the Iraq-Iranian war, and she talks about her mother and how her mother was there for her and was, that support system that made her strong. That, I mean, I don't want to use, let her speak to you. Go on that grid, read about, it touched me so much for her to share that, because right now it's just what's going on in this world. It just really hits home. Like, I'm really blessed. I don't know what it's like to deal with what some people are dealing with in this world. But what I do know is this world needs more love, and I'm hoping Women's Pizza Month is doing that. I encourage everyone, if you can give when you can. That's how I live. But, you can always give love. If you don't have money, give love. Yeah,
but it's needed now more than ever, and it isn't a glib thing. Well, like on the war aside, and we should talk about what's going on in Ukraine and how that's impacting everyone. But like we talked recently about, as an employer, what people used to need was, I think this has come from the leader of the London School of Economics. She said that, it used to be that people needed muscle, so like workforces, they hired for strength, and then there was a long period that people hired with brains. But now, if you're looking to grow a team, you should do it with heart. And what I loved about that was because, yes, I know that, that, it's true, it feels right, but actually this is someone who is at the forefront of the economy, and she's saying that it's actually just good for business as well. I thought that was really interesting. It's not a soft thing anymore to talk about love and appealing to the heart and what matters. That really stood out to me. I think like to sort of give credibility to that kind of language, because you feel it in your gut and you can see that it does work when you're engaging with people, when you're authentic and you're talking about love. But yes, what do you think on that?
I absolutely love that. That's an absolutely beautiful way of looking at things. I wish we all could do that. I don't know who said the quote, but it's like spread love everywhere. That's what we need to do. And I think part of the quote is, let nobody who comes to you, leave you without leaving happier. And I think if we all did that, if we all kind of embodied that, if we all gave a little bit more, like I said, more love, this world would be so much better a place. And I think if businesses had more heart, like Ooni does, I feel like that would benefit us all, not just the businesses, but everybody. We all need to show more love.
Yeah, well, thank you for shouting out Ooni. Like we definitely try, but we learn a lot from the community and people we're talking to. So thank you. I slightly touched upon the war. It's an incredibly difficult situation. We have people in our team from Ukraine. How is it feeling in America just now? Clearly, it's not the only war that's going on. But how does it impact you? Because obviously you spend a lot of time on social media, and there's a lot of support happening, standing with Ukraine. Is that kind of thing in your social media world at the moment?
Absolutely. I've been supporting when I can. I will shout out Rich's Dough and Behold. He's doing a fundraiser. I like to support also Global Giving. They're a really highly rated charity that you could feel safe donating to. That's who I give to also. But you know, we have Bake for Ukraine that's going on throughout social media. We're all talking about it, and privately and in our posts. And that's, again, like, I like to take the time when people reach out in their posts to read them. And you know, people are, you know, they're hurting. What's going on out there is heartbreaking. And you know, like I said, what we could do, there are things we could do about it, you know, is we could give when we can, and, you know, show the world more love. The world you can't give too much love. And that's how I think the world, you know, will go in the right direction if we keep doing that. And we'll help all, not just the refugees of Ukraine. I mean, we need to help all the refugees, or just people who just don't have what we have.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely an important message, and one that I think we're all struggling to work out exactly how we can help. But you know, I've heard lots of experts talking about the importance of actually sharing on social media. You know, sometimes it feels glib, but actually, as you've proven, you can have actually genuine connections with people when you build communities that are based on, you know, shared interests, pizza, bringing people together. Then there's a kind of commonality that is incredibly inclusive. So yeah, we do all we can, and continue to do that, and demand peace and raise our voices in support, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, we need each other more than ever. So yeah, whenever we can support each other, I think we should. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. So remind us all what we have to do, because there's new people join. So if they wanted to get involved in Women's Pizza Month, they don't just have to be women.
No,
correct?
It's open to everybody. I'm inviting all of you guys. Everyone is invited. It's the world's biggest party. We're celebrating all the women in this world. And we want you to create a pizza that's unique to you. And we want you to dedicate it to a woman who inspires you. And we want you, hopefully, to tell us about this woman, why she inspires you, and tag Women's Pizza Month, so that we could all celebrate that woman with you. And it'll be Jenna, the Juliet Mike, and I are hosting it. And what we're trying to do is we're going to shout out in our stories. And I think we got to almost everyone so far. You know, we're sharing those stories so that we could all celebrate those people. And that's part of what I love about Women's Pizza Month too, is for me, I don't care if you have 100,000 followers. That doesn't impress me. What impresses me is your big heart. So let me see your heart. If you have 2 followers, you're going to get love from me and Jenna. But I want you to show love for women, because that's what Women's Pizza Month is about.
Brilliant. Oh, and so who, obviously a lot of people inspire you, but who, if you had to dedicate a pizza to one woman, who would it be?
Right now I'm going to dedicate it to you.
That's not okay. You cannot say that. No. Okay. That's one lovely answer.
How about the women of Ukraine who are suffering right now? And I couldn't even imagine what they're going through. I'm going to dedicate a pizza to them. And, you know, just my heart is going out to all those women. Like I said, I don't know. I couldn't imagine.
No, yeah, I think that's fair and incredibly worthy. Thank you for the shout out for me as well. It's unnecessary, but we do really, really value your support and your insane passion. It's off the chart, and it is, like I say, the right kind of infectious. Keep it up, and I'm so excited to meet you one day in person. But this is as real as it gets, you know, like we have actually been working together, and you've been inspiring us to actually make changes and to notice things differently. You've told me things about Ooni that I didn't even notice. So I love that. I think it's incredibly collaborative, and you can tell that you care. So thank you for that.
I love this community. It means a great deal to me. Everything I do, even, you know, in my own business life, you know, people first. If you lead that way with putting people first,
right.
It's a win for everyone. Always put people first.
A woman after my own heart. It makes sense, right? You know, if you don't have that, you don't have much. I
mean, so much to this community, and I can't thank it enough. I love all you guys. This community is amazing. And I do have to say, you know, the pizza community in general is the best, but the Ooni pizza community is the best of the best. We are the tightest knit. And, you know, once you're in the Ooni family, you're always part of the family, at least for me.
Oh, absolutely. You know, well, like I say, we wouldn't be much without people like you out there using the ovens, telling us how you like it, working with us, sharing content, chatting. I think that it's absolute dynamite. So I really want to thank you because, you know, like from the very beginning when we started, we had this brilliant international community because we launched on Kickstarter. So straight away, being from like a small back garden in London at the time, we were like, oh, we've got these global customer base, and then, but really quickly it turned into a community. We realized that people's hearts and minds, like you're demonstrating today, they're taken over by that kind of passion and learning and connection. And yes, it's a nice place to be on the internet. So thank you for shining a light on women generally and inviting everyone in to this party. It's incredibly inspiring and I think really important. You know, sometimes you're like, why do women need a day? And why specifically call out Women's Pizza Month if it's to be inclusive? But I think you've demonstrated that, well, absolutely it's necessary. There's lots of inequality to get in the world, not just women's rights, but rights of all genders and you know, ethnicities, and there's so much inequality to address. But to do it with love and like shining a spotlight onto brilliant things that are happening, I think is, like I say, inspiring. So I appreciate you, Christy. Thank you.
My pleasure. And yeah, like you said, the reason why all of us are invited to the party is it's important, you know, to have this discussion with everyone. If we just have this discussion with women, it's just not going to make as much of an impact. And you know what, I have to say, the men in this community, they deserve, you know, kudos too. They've been so, they've been awesome, and they've been making Women's Pizza Month a success, just like the women. And we'd like to invite more women to the party, obviously. And but even the men acknowledge, they know. I mean, if you look at the dedications, a lot of them are from men, and there have been women who made a deep, meaningful impact on their lives, and inspired by women. We all have been inspired by women. So that's what Women's Pizza Month is about. It's about spreading the love, celebrating women, you know, just to helping empower them by, you know, raising them up. When we raise people up, we all get, you know, get risen up. Like, it's important, you know, raise people up when you can.
I remember when I was working in schools like 15 years ago, and we did things around this about role models for women. And the sort of teenage girls we were working with, they couldn't think of any like women that, like when you asked them straight away who they admired, and we did a bit of work, and then all sorts of things like speed dating, women in industry, they brought their mums into school. Like, it completely transformed the way they looked at kind of the generations and what people went through and what they've done before. But it definitely needed to called out and talked about, and it was really fascinating. They were like, I don't know, and then maybe cited a pop star, which often actually these days pop stars are incredibly inspiring for what they do. But yeah, it was quite sad where it started, and really awesome when you actually give time and space to talking about it. Because if people can't recognize themselves in inspiring, or they can't see a way that they can progress, then it's a bad start, right, to young people's lives. So yeah, it's needed to be called out.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, like and what I want to make clear is when I say who inspires you, like I said, it can be any woman, and it's important, you know, to think about it. And I tell you, when you think about other people and you allow yourself to be inspired more by those people, you grow so much as a person. And as a pizza maker too, if you're going to talk about that, I know I've learned so many cool things by investing my time and getting to know these women that I'm doing these dedications on, and I'm growing exponentially. So I encourage you, if you know, need something in your life, look to inspiration in other people. And if you can do that with women this month, even better.
Right on, Christy. Real clever food, kicking it out there in the pizza world and doing way more as well. So thank you so much. We should sign off, but the call to action is check out the hashtag Women Pizza Month, check out the grids, and then make a pizza dedicated to women you're inspired by and tell us why. Right?
Yep, thank you so much. Yeah, and tag Women's Pizza Month.
Yeah, and also just make pizza. It's Amazing. Well, good luck with the rest of the campaign. It's an absolute pleasure to chat with you today. I can't wait to see what happens next. And yes, and one day eat pizza with you.
That would be awesome. I would love that. And thank you so much for your support, Ooni's support of women and Women's Pizza Month. Jenna and I really appreciate it. We can't say thank you enough. And thanks to everyone here who's watching. Thank you for your support. And hopefully you'll join us again. You're all.
You disappeared. Thank you.
I know, my phone timed out. Bye, guys.
Bye.